Welcome back to another jersey rebrand, whatever you want to call it, video where we're going to look at new uniforms for NFL teams. I have done this for NBA teams, I've done this for the Houston Texans. I know for sure, I'm pretty sure that's like the only ones I've done it for is NBA and like the Texans. But for, I believe it is 5 teams. 5 teams, I believe. Got new uniforms, new rebrand uniform stuff, and so we're gonna take a look at all those and see what we like, what we dislike, is it any good. Now the question you'd be asking, why 5? You know, you don't usually do more than one at a time. You'll see as we get into it. So let's just go right into it with the Baltimore Ravens. All right, so at first glance, doesn't look like there's a whole lot of change here, but I guess we'll get into it. All right, so what do we have here? What do we have here? So we got the usual purple. I don't know. Let's be real. There's not really much difference here in like what they did differently. What like what's here now, what was here before. There's not much of a difference. Not much of a noticeable difference. That is, the big thing is the gold around the number. There's no gold around the numbers like there used to be. I guess another thing which was pointed out was like the wings on the collar, which don't get me wrong, is pretty cool. Dude, that gold is really, look, don't get me wrong, I do think the white on purple, I think it's fine, don't get me wrong. I don't know, I think the gold gives it more life. You know, you get rid of that gold, you get rid of the personality. You can't just replace that with the wings on the freaking collar and then be like, it's too personal. It's not. White jerseys, same thing. You're getting rid of that gold and you lose your personality. Dang, dude, that sucks. Black, same thing. I mean, I guess the purple outline is not too bad. That works. The gold again is still missing. Like it's in your logo, it's in your color scheme. Throw it in there, man. Like, come on. So this isn't like as like disappointing as the others, but it's still like, put some gold in there, dog. The colors, the wings look nice. I think it's cool. You got these alternate purple ones, which honestly, rock with them. They did already have like gold, like the gold numbers on the purple jerseys, which I think was really cool. Adding a purple helmet, I think, is really sick. I'm glad they did that. Because that looks really freaking cool. The all purple like color rush pretty much looks freaking nice. Well, this one doesn't have the wings on, so maybe this is what they had before. Either way, I love the gold on purple. It looks sick. So maybe they like only strictly added a helmet to this, but it works. Oh, new helmets. Yeah, it's kind of sick. It's kind of sick. I like okay. I think the logo looks cool. On the black helmet, I think it could work. I'm not loving it right now because it's like, you know how I feel about dark colors on dark colors, especially when it's like the same color. The red in the eyes really stands out, but like the logo is not gonna stand out that much. I get why they do it. I get why they're doing it. It just doesn't stand out as much as they were probably hoping it would. But I guess we'll see like when it's on the field. Oh, here's the purple helmets. This is what I like. I like the purple. Doesn't really clash too much with the logo, especially because it has that gold outline on it. But oh, I love the gold on here. The gold stripes, the gold outline on the Ravens, the gold face mask looks sick. Looks really nice. And this logo, I don't love it. The purple here is way too dark. Like you want a logo to stand out, and it's just not standing out. It's gonna blend in too much. Play like a Raven. I don't know what that means. I be disappointing every year. I don't freaking know. Yeah, no, the wings look sick. It's got like an Oregon-esque thing going on there, but it looks dope. I like the wings. It's sick. Yeah, I like that a lot. And again, the purple, don't love it. See, this is what I'm talking about. Do freaking this, where you have the gold on the purple and it stands out, dude. It pops. It stands out. It looks really good. Okay, I'll be honest, I don't know what I don't know what the brands looked at before, so I think this really works for the helmet. Yeah, you see that logo right there? Like that looks cool. I like see that one. That for like the alternate logo, that works like really freaking well. That looks incredible. Especially like on those helmets. I don't watch the Ravens, so I don't know what kind of helmets they do have. But that purple with that logo on it looks really sick. And then the logo on the sleeve there, the colors pop. See, this is what you're losing. You're losing the personality that was here. You're getting rid of that gold outline, which really makes it stand out, and just adding purple because you're freaking boring. Like, I would say, if you want to get rid of, like, the drop shadow, I'm cool with that, you know? I think the drop shadow might be doing too much, right? You can get rid of that, and I think the rest of the uniform looks... That's how you perfect it. That's how you perfect it. Just get rid of the drop shadow, and you're good. But going from that to this is just... God, it's a downgrade, you know? It's a downgrade. Again, not the worst. You know, it's not like atrocious, like, oh, get that off my screen, but it's a downgrade for sure. Next team, we are looking at the Los Angeles Rams. Oh boy, now spot the difference because it's going to be a little difficult. Yeah, so they announced a random new uniforms, so we're going to take a look at that. Yeah, I mean, it's not nothing crazy about it. It's inoffensive, very basic. They really did not change much. Spoiler alert. They didn't change much. They still got the same old uniforms. What did they change, you may ask? They got rid of Gradient. That's basic. That's in its most basic terms. That's about it. They got rid of Gradient, which, you know, don't get me wrong, it's fine. You know, I got nothing against getting rid of the Gradient, but this is one of the few instances where I think the Gradient wasn't the worst. You know, but I guess they want to go for more of a classic look, which is kind of a theme going on in these. It's like the old, like, I think that's the 90s look they had before they went to St. Louis. Kind of like that, but seemingly bright, still the brighter colors that they got in their rebrand. Because they're still very bright colors, very bright yellow and very bright blue. Yeah, so you see, it looks a lot cleaner. I will give them that. It looks much cleaner. The bold, just a straight up yellow. It looks much cleaner. Looks a little more professional. I guess they also changed the sleeve up a little bit. Again, you wouldn't know unless someone told you. But it looks fine. The gradient, getting rid of the gradient, I guess, is all right. Not too bad. And they got rid of this, like, random patch that they used to have on here that said Los Angeles Rams. Well, for whatever reason they have that, but they got rid of that, and it's looking a lot more slick, a lot more simple, basic, but, you know, it stands out. Yeah, okay, so they're showing they got new logos, or updated logos, I should say. So they went from this textured, detailed logo to that. Yeah, they kind of got rid of detail on the Ram logo here too. It's like cool they gave it like eyes, but then they got rid of the shadows and like the broader details for this. Looks like a brighter yellow. I could be wrong. I like the eyes, but I think that's really all you should have changed. Yeah, showing the logo history here. Yeah, and they also apparently got a new a new logo here in the Rams thing. Why it took them so long to even put Rams on anything? Don't ask me. But yeah, they lost the gradient. Got just straight up just colors. This was not bad. Again, inoffensive, but really not much of a difference, to be honest. I mean, it's cool that they're kind of going back to a more classic looking, because nostalgia is in. Old is the new. But yeah, nothing crazy. Next, we are looking at the Washington Commanders, formerly known as the Redskins, and they seem to really like that identity. So yeah, so basically, these uniforms they had for 3 or 4 years. They said, screw that, we're going back to a more classic look with our Redskins-esque uniforms. Yeah, so they had the Commanders uniforms for 4 years, and then just decided, never mind, we'll go back to this. It's kind of like how the Jazz went from like their gross like neon yellow and black uniforms to the classic like purple and blue and white colors they have now. He said there's really nothing wrong necessarily with the Commanders uniforms. You know, I think if you want to complain about the fact that they changed their name, which a lot of people do, from the Redskins to the Commanders, that's one thing. But especially kind of like matching the name to the uniforms. The uniforms worked. It had a very military look to them, especially for where they are, what their name is. It works. But no, they decided, you know what? We're going with the Redskins. I know last season they had kind of very loosely brought back, Redskins uniforms. Of course, they can't use any of that branding. So it was just the regular uniforms with like the Redskins like jerseys and pants with the Commander's helmet. It's lame, I know, but you know, they will try to avoid this at all costs. So yeah, basically going back to the Redskins. Again, very basic. Like you got your number there, which most sports teams have used in their life. You got like their old logo or their logo. Again, it's very basic, very slim. Like especially the white. Like this uniform set, literally what they had last year for their throwbacks. Basic, inoffensive, just kind of there, you know? Nothing too crazy. Again, you're going back to the Redskins without going back to the Redskins. Then they did the black. It was a little new. They added a new logo, which is the W with the spear going through it. Oh, here's a look at him. Again, nothing too crazy. If you've seen him as the Redskins, it's that with the Commanders helmets. This, you know, when you add this logo, right? This new W with the spear. A lot of people are like, it looks cool. A lot of people are like, it looks kind of dumb because like the way the spear goes through doesn't really make sense. You're really kind of pushing it right there. You know, trying to avoid this whole Redskins thing at all costs, but then adding the arrow in there with the spear, you're really pushing it. But you know, nothing crazy. It's just really it's the Washington football team, Washington football team uniforms. That's basically what it is, just without the words. There's that one. Next team we are looking at is the Atlanta Falcons. Their old uniforms very mixed, I think. A lot of people liked them, a lot of people didn't. Especially with Radiant. You know how I feel about Radiants. But they decided to rebrand. Again, the other ones didn't last very long. I guess they were like, yeah, we gotta go to basic looks again as well. Basic, kind of go back to older designs, I guess, what they're going for. So we're gonna look at that. Yeah, I mean, this looks like Texas Tech, right? Like you put like Texas Tech on there, and it's gonna be like, you know what? Yeah. Again, and it's different than what they have. It's more noticeably different than the others are. Again, you're going kind of back to basics, going to very simple and basic, as I said before. I guess we're at a time where going complex or trying to do something cool or new is no longer the norm. It's no longer the cool thing to do. It seems we're going back to like basic blocky numbers. May or may not put your name on there. Many teams clearly opted to not do that. I mean, just seems to make a big deal about the helmets. Doesn't seem like anything crazy, just their black helmets. Again, they didn't really change a whole lot. Namely the number on there. Okay, so I found this maybe more in-depth look at them. Oh, here we go. All right, yeah. So again, nothing too crazy. It's just color, numbers, name. Dirty bird. That's weird. You know what this looks like? You know what? Especially the red one. Yeah. Yeah, this has like a very similar look to it. Obviously, it's not like perfectly verbatim, but it looks you're kind of close there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's nothing too crazy. It's definitely the more noticeable different one. And again, they're going back to basics. They're going back to more of a classic look, which, you know, more power to you, I guess. Jersey numbers, yeah. I didn't necessarily love the last ones they had, but I didn't hate them like some people seem to. Like this isn't a bad jersey. Like I'll be honest, this isn't a bad jersey. It's actually a pretty nice jersey. It's just you know, what are we doing here? The final uniform set we were looking at is the Tennessee Titans. This one's gonna be the more noticeable, like very obvious new one. And you know, as a Texans fan, I'm not too happy about this one because I know about this one 100%. Because they got a new logo, new branding, which kind of boring. You know, they took all the life out of their old logo and were like, let's be the Oilers, stop being the Oilers. That's essentially what's going on here. Take a look at it. Yeah, they get the new logo there. Kind of boring. Kind of, that's about it. Really just boring. Here we are. Yeah, so you're basically 30th season in Tennessee. Yeah, very boring logo. And they're at this point, they're just like, yeah, here it is. At this point, they're just like, screw you, Texans. We're gonna take this over. We're just like, all right, buddy. So, yeah. Yeah, you look at the difference in logos here. I don't know what the difference here is. Like, you got like this logo with personality. It's got details. It doesn't look too bad. And then you're just like, oh wait, remember when we were the Oilers for a little bit? All right, so they got some you got the shield, as they call it, the word mark logos. This isn't too bad. I kind of like this one here. Kind of like the Ford logo, though, if I'm being honest. All right, here we go. Let's look at this. Yeah, I mean, it's Oilers uniforms. What can I say? They really want to be the Houston Oilers so bad. It's kind of crazy to think about. They've gone just balls to the wall, all in on just the branding to be the Oilers. Because they did wear Oilers Oilers throwbacks for a few times, and it was kind of a bit of a sticky situation, especially with the Oilers being a big thing in Houston. You know, believe me, Oilers are big in Houston. Houston doesn't like it. In fact, the Houston Cougars, the University of Houston's football team, and even their basketball team, have Oilers-looking uniforms. And the Titans were like, "Hey, if you don't change that, we're not too happy with you. We're gonna sue you." So they kept them. they kept going. They're like, "Do it. We don't care." Because this is Houston. This is a Houston blue. Houston, like, this is Houston's blue. And the Titans are like, "Well, technically, you moved here to Tennessee, blah 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 blah." So yeah, so they're going all in on that. Just kind of I feel like at this point it's just a middle finger to Houston. So, anyways, yeah, that's really it. As you can see, the reason I did all of these teams at one time is because there's practically no difference. It's such a minimal difference. It's you barely notice it. Only few have like a very notable difference. Nothing too special about some of these. That's really about it. If more come out, then I will do more. But I think this is going to be it for this upcoming season with the new, I guess, rebrands, new uniform sets, whatever. And, whatever comes out for other teams, for other sports, I will probably look at that.